Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Beneath a Steel Sky. Last time we talked to the doorman of the club, to the left, and we can't get in until we get someone to sponsor us. And he recommended that we talk to Mrs. Piermont in order to do that. So, let's see, is Mrs. Piermont over here? I really don't know at this point. She could be anywhere around on the ground floor. Maybe it's best if we just wait here. Spunky will be around eventually because, there's Spunky right now. And Mrs. Piermont just kind of lags behind Spunky. She's you're so come on. You're so dang slow.
Excuse me.
Alright.
Hello, darling. I don't believe we've met.
No, I'm a stranger here.
I'm Mrs. Piermont, but you can call me Danielle.
And this is Mrs. Piermont. She's gonna be the focal point for this video because just wow. This is why I got her bio, her dossier out of the way in the previous video, because we're gonna do a lot of talking and discussion with her.
Would you sponsor me for the club?
Oh no, I couldn't do that.
Of course not.
Why not?
As you said yourself, you're a stranger. Why, you could be a terrorist. No, it's out of the question.
Nip,
Excuse me.
you're not moving a finger. Or a foot, or whatever. Sometimes Robert should just keep his mouth shut and not say he's a stranger. Yeah. Because he's not. He knows he's not.
How do I get out of the city?
Now, why would you want to do that? There's nothing in the gap but sand and savages.
But that's where I live.
Oh, how ghastly for you, my dear.
What's the mutt's name?
Well, really? He's not a mutt. His name is Spunky.
She says it so well. There are actually a lot of chains to this one topic, so hopefully I'm gonna get all of them.
He looks like he's got fleas.
He has millions of them. But he's allergic to the flea powder.
Why don't you give him a good bath?
Oh, I've tried, but he can't bear to get wet.
He looks just like his owner.
What do you mean by that?
He's really cute and fluffy.
Flattery will get you nowhere, young man.
He's no oil painting, is he?
Well, really? Spunky is my faithful companion.
I've got a little companion, too.
Oh, really? Where?
He's right here in my pocket.
And what do you mean by that?
It's the circuit board for my best friend. A robot called Joey.
Yeah. Anyway.
Do you know someone called Overman?
Why, yes, I do. He worked with my husband, Professor Piermont. Why? Are you interested in Overman?
He was my father.
I'm sorry, but I don't believe you. Overman's only son died in an accident.
That was no accident, Mrs. Piermont. It was deliberate sabotage by security. My mother was killed, but I survived, and I've read a document which proves it.
Incredible! Your mother was a great friend to me. If you're really Robert Overman, I'll sponsor you. Meet me at my apartment.
Now, I really like just talking in this screen because there's a security guard right there. You didn't think he would be...
Mommy, Spunky.
What the... That's not supposed to... What? The... Spunky? What? Spunky what? Like I was saying, this guard is standing right here and Robert's just blurting this out. Of course, it's completely moot because you can do this on any screen on the ground floor. I just like doing it right there because it's just fun. I'm gonna leave talking to these two guys until...
Come to Mommy, Spunky.
God. But yeah, they're not important right now. I will talk to them when it actually is important. Right now, let's go up Turnvale Tower and talk to Mrs. Piermont.
It's the call button for an apartment.
One apartment?
Hello. Who is this?
Security, open up.
Mrs. Piermont is not at home. Mrs. Piermont is not at home.
Well, there's another audio weirdness.
Hello.
It's the dog warden.
What are you talking about?
I've had complaints about your dog. He's a health risk, madam.
I'm not opening the door, so go away.
Third time's a charm.
Hello.
Your pizza, madam.
What kind of pizza?
Quattro formaggi, with olives and chilies.
My favorite. But I'm on a diet.
Robert also has really weird luck in very weird situations.
Hello.
Hello, it's me, Robert.
It's me, Robert.
Come right in, Rob. I've been scared silly by cranky visitors.
Ha! They all sounded exactly alike. Who knew?
Welcome to my humble little home, Robert.
Notice she changed.
You know, I remember you as a baby, Robert.
I've grown a bit since then.
I'm sure you have. You must have so many questions to ask me.
Yes, I have.
And there's a lot of questions.
What was the professor working on?
Didn't I tell you? Helmut was the designer of Link. It was his dream, but he died before it was realized. Your father became the project leader.
So my dad was responsible for Link?
Yes, he stepped into Helmut's shoes. Link reached completion on the very day you were born. From then on, Richard changed. He spent more time with Link than he did with his wife and baby.
So I guess that was what Anita was meaning, that he bonded his mind with Link. We still need more information, though, in order to make that actually make sense.
Why did my mother try to escape?
But she did her best to cope. But she wasn't the same after Richard's rejection. The authorities never approved of her marriage either. Because she came from Hobart. Eventually, she decided to return home.
So the bastards had her killed.
You're overwrought, Robert. Would you like some paracetamol?
I don't want analgesic. I want answers.
But drugs, Robert.
Is my father still alive?
I've not seen him since my husband's funeral. What a magnificent occasion. I wish I could have stayed until the end.
You walked out of your husband's funeral?
I had no choice. Poor Spunky hates cathedrals. All that incense and droning makes him bilious. No sooner had I got him outside than up came his breakfast.
It's a good thing he didn't chuck in church.
Don't interrupt, darling. Well, when I got back, they were all gone. Congregation, choir, coffin and all.
Because I had to take care of Spunky. Sorry.
Why didn't you want to visit the club?
The memories are too painful.
Did you go there with the professor?
Yes, we met in a club. Oh, he was a handsome young graduate. And I was a flower in my first bloom. He plucked me from the Garden of Innocence.
I see what you mean. The memories are painful.
Well,
Are you gonna sponsor me now?
If that's what you want. I'll telephone the manager and make the arrangements. This won't take a moment.
oh, yeah, she did change. I think she's actually...
Is that Mr. Colston? Danielle Piermont here. I have a friend I wish to sponsor.
She really spaces her things, and now she'll just talk forever and ever and ever. So we can actually look around the room. I think she's the only character in the game, or at least one of two characters in the game who actually changed their character, in terms of design. Her outside and her inside clothes. It's actually really nice.
Now that looks comfortable.
It looks very tacky, though.
I better not sit. She might take advantage of me.
That line just makes me think of the graduate for some reason, although he said, "Are you trying to seduce me?" But anyways.
It's another of those easy-to-program machines, which select the record time and channel at random.
Random, huh?
None of the buttons do what you'd expect them to.
Okay then.
These big wall screens certainly are popular.
And they get bigger and bigger every day.
It's an ancient Greek statue, made of fiberglass.
And they still know who the Greeks are, even though in the far future.
Nothing I could use that statue for.
Although I don't know how far they are in the future, so I shouldn't say how far it is. Now, there's actually something we have to do in here, and it involves dog bowl. Of all things.
It's full of biscuits and dog drool.
Yep. Now, there's dog bowl and there's dog biscuits.
Little crunchy doggy snacks.
Well...
That dog doesn't want to share his biscuits.
yeah, he's a greedy jerk.
It's full. If I pick up the bowl, the contents will slop all over my hands.
Really not someone who likes picking things up and are able to do anything. Like, we can exit, but we need those dog biscuits, actually. So, what in our inventory can we use in order to get those dog biscuits? Well, we have our wonderful Pussies on Parade videotape. So let's play it. And Spunky will go over and start barking at it over and over and over. You can, and this is actually where the cassette tape will stay forever. And it will continue to play all the time. But now we have some dog biscuits, so we should be good to go. Unfortunately, we don't have Joey, so we can't do an analysis on these dog biscuits. And Mrs. Piermont will continue to just talk.
Excuse me.
She also won't speak anymore. So let's just get out of here. Alright then. Now there's one thing we want to do. Now we got the dog biscuits. Now we want to go down the southern path. Here. Because there's this nice little building here and a door.
The door has an old-fashioned lock on it.
Old-fashioned lock.
Won't open. That's probably because it's locked.
Now, I'd like to
It's
get
an
in there.
old-fashioned cylinder lock. I need a key to open that.
Sadly, we don't have a key. However, it's a cylinder lock, and if you know anything about cylinder locks, that old credit card trick does wonders. So Let's try it. It's a bit old-fashioned, but...
It's an old trick, but it still works.
Exactly. So now we can actually head inside and see something interesting. Hello. A lot different than anything that we've seen around Union City. Very old museum station.
It has a list of names with little buttons beneath.
Now, I believe there's supposed to be something around here, but...
It's an old map, but it means nothing to me. The map is painted on a big sheet of metal.
it may be the version...
Not the sort of map you'd fold and put in your pocket.
It may be the version that I have, which is the US version and not the European version, but there should be somewhere in the game which lists off all the station names of the Sydney subway system, which is where this game is apparently taking place. And here's something interesting.
They're for cutting and pruning plants.
It won't even try to pronounce it, and I think it's secateurs, but I have no idea because I've never had to pronounce it at all in my life. However, we can take them. Shears are dark with rust, but still sharp. And there's also brickwork over here. Let's go over here.
The stairway has been bricked up.
Do it, Robert. Go.
Why did I waste my time doing that?
Because I
Being
told
in
you
this
to.
city must be cracking me up.
I told you to. You are my pawn, you. Anyway, now that we have all of that, we have a bunch of things that we are able to do, but I'm gonna leave that for a little bit later. Like, 1, we can get in the club. 2, we have some secateurs who, or, I don't even know, cicaders? Maybe cicaders, I don't know. It might as well just be pruning shears for all I care. And we have dog biscuits. And with that, I'm going to leave that. I'm going to actually get this next puzzle started before I call it. Because, well, hold on. Put it back in there. Because there's some interesting things down here.
A pallet of bricks suspended from a pulley. Far too heavy to lift. It's pivoted in the middle, like a seesaw. That's too big and heavy to carry.
Well, let's put this on there. And then pull on this rope.
It's attached to some bricks via a pulley.
Come on, Spunky.
Ha! The trap is baited.
And with that, I'll leave it for next time. Just so we have some sort of a cliffhanger, I'm not good at these. Not at all. See you next time, everyone, as we do something with Spunky. See you next time, everyone.